Oh my gosh. Ta-da! Yay! Alrighty. Hello, everybody. Welcome to WooWoo. We're gonna be doing a coffee and tarot. Coffee's over here. Which means we're gonna sit down and have a conversation with Spirit, or Spirit's gonna have a conversation with us. Spirit gets to take the lead, okay? That's why we got our coffee. We gotta sit down, pull up a comfy couch, put on a blanket, and listen. Spirit's in charge. They get to lead. I will ask clarifying questions. They'll either answer or they won't. They're in charge. So that means we come into this with no preconceived notions, no parameters, no time frames, no intentions other than to just listen. Okay. This is a chance for Spirit to get things out that they've been trying to tell you, that you, when your focus has been somewhere else, or like you go on tangents or anything else like that. So, alrighty. Let me give you my spiel. You're a sovereign being of your life. You get to determine if, how, when, where, why any of these messages might apply. My recommendation is to never Cinderella it to make it fit. And as a reminder, this is a general reading, hence why I just gave that disclaimer. If you're wanting something more intricate and personal, you would have to book a reading with me. Okay. Alrighty. So let's see here. We've had those seasons here. Okay. Let's see here. Where are we gonna start? Give me just a moment. I am feeling my little German oracle deck. So we're going to start there. I am hearing Joy Oladokun. I just butchered her last name. And it's the Time to Fly Away. It's that song that she does. It's a duet with Sheryl Crow. And she says something about you can't get the years back, but you can always come back to a place. So there's this feeling of losing time, opportunity, like wasting away by staying in a particular place or stagnant. And the thing is that you can't get that time back once you make that mistake, once you make that choice. But if you leave and you realize that was the mistake, or that wasn't something that really truly aligned with you and that you really needed to be with, you can always come back to a particular place. But you can't get that time back once you've lost it. Of the things you could have been doing, right? So I think it's time to fly away is coming through. Alrighty. It is a general read. Again, I think you might have missed it at the beginning. I reminded everybody it was a general read. For anything very specific, you'd have to actually book a reading, okay? But let's see here. Is there anything else? Are we gonna do something? What's happening here? Let's put it down. They want me to look at those two cards really quick so that you can see. Can you see? Can you see these? Obviously, this is self-explanatory. This is similar to like the Devil card in tarot. Okay. Where'd we go? All right. Zwist. These are German. Okay. I had to make a cheat sheet because the book was in German. I'm just saying. I was like, I had to look some things up, y'all. I had to look them up. Quarrel, dispute, disagreement, discord. What's keeping you in a constant state of discord? What are you disputing or quarreling about right now? I'm not so sure the devil is a person in this particular read. This could just be this like ever-ending cycle where you're constantly at war or in disagreement about something. This unending discord. Okay, hold on. I feel like doing this, and this. Whoop! Son of a biscuit eater, y'all. All right. I cannot pronounce. I guess maybe that should be my next magic trick is learning how to pronounce these cards. Curiosity, inquisitive. Aren't you at least curious about something? Like, I feel as though why do I feel like you have this pattern of just being very argumentative? Like spirits, like you just like to dispute or like to go against whatever we try to do and da da da. Like every little action, every little step, every little blah blah blah. You just want to. You're not happy with it. This is like this ever-ending cycle and pattern with you. You get close to something, and then you get all like. Aren't you at least a tiniest bit curious about what we're trying to do? I heard no. Okie dokie. All right, so Hanged Man. That's what this is. Wait, nope. That is not that one. Oh, I like this better. Pleasure, treat, benefit. It's time to consume something. Okay. Okay. Oh, never mind. I just read the wrong card. This is the Hangman. Okie dokie. All right. You're the only reason. All right. Jesus, I swear to you. You might be the reason that you're missing out on some kind of pleasure and indulgence and like treat. Like spirit's got a treat for you. And you're being argumentative. You keep getting in this loop. It's like you're kind of like tying yourself or tethering yourself down. And they're like, aren't you just the least bit curious? So we need to find out what's the treat that you are keeping yourself from. And I almost feel like maybe that's part of the problem is that you don't know. And you think whatever it is that they're trying to do is in direct contrast to really what you want. I feel like, okay, there's something that seems to be of the utmost importance to you right now. Um, like a priority above everything else. And you must be inquiring about it. And they're like, and like all you get are indication synchronicities and things like that in regards to something else. I see a yellow butterfly. And then you get angry and argumentative and unhappy and I don't want that. No, like obstinate is what I want to say. You're almost obstinate. Let's see. Let's see if that's even remotely true. Let's see. It feels a bit like wishy-washy, like peak valley, peak valley, peak valley. I'm gonna start with I want to know what the benefit, the treat, the the whatever this thing is that spirit's like you're just you're delaying this, you're withholding from it. What is that? What is that? What is the indulgence that you refuse to something you refuse to indulge in? Uh, there's a benefit here. Okay, so there's 8 of Cups, Ace of Wands. Ooh. I think you're going to dispute this. It feels as though like there's something yummy, hence the indulge and a treat and a oh, she's got the plate there. Something really yummy. Ah, uh, mm, okay, Lord, and at the bottom there's more wands. Okay, this isn't something from the past. Uh, it feel like 8 of Cups. You walk away from something towards something. Like you, I think the 6 of Cups is okay. Let's just take a look at this one. This is Secret Tarot. We have 6 cups upright. Okay. Lining the path. Like this is a soul path. Okay. A soul calling, if you will. Something aligned with someone's soul. These 6 of Cups can also talk about like soul contracts or things like that. And we've got the 2 of Cups down here, kind of like leading the way to the 9 of Cups. So, I mean, low hanging fruit, right? Kind of like it makes one think that spirit is trying to lure you, call you in like a siren for a 2 of Cups. Um, I'm getting a lot of energies, a lot of conflicting things. It feels as though, okay, first off, oh, like I feel like somebody's like, okay, whatever, do whatever. I don't give a shit. And so you're not saying no to this. But you are also inquiring and trying to achieve something for right now because you see this as sorry, I'm just getting over a cold that my child gave me. Hmm. I told you at the beginning, like last week, like on Monday, I was like, he's sick. Da, da, da. Of course, I got it. So now I'm trying to get over it. Frankly, I feel like you are sick and tired of hearing about this because you're like, if this were gonna happen, it'd fucking happen. Like, I'm not gonna sit like it feels annoying and irritating, hence why you're disputing, you have discord, you're like, shut the fuck up. You're looking at spirit equally like same song and dance, different day. Like all you ever do is talk about this and never produce anything. You're just like, okay, do whatever the fuck you want in regards to that. I don't give a shit. I got other things in my life other than it's almost like you're assuming like spirit is dangling a relationship in like it's supposed to be the carrot and there's just it's not it's not sufficient enough to get you to do something. Okay. I am it's like going down this path is going to ignite a lot in you. In fact, dare I say, it's going to almost I feel as if like somebody's in like a waiting room, right? And it's like, when can my life start again? Like, I don't know. There's somebody feels held back, bound a little bit. Hanged man, like being withheld from pleasure, but you're fighting this. And there's something like if you want me to have this, then fucking bring it to me. I'm like there is a bit of an indication that you need to you need to walk a particular path to get to it, and you're so overhearing this that you're like it almost feels like it either shows up like you're not gonna do anything to move closer to this. But it's like everything in your life gets to start after this, or this path has everything, right? It's not just the 2 of cups, it's got all your wish fulfillments, the 9 of cups, everything that you're wanting right now. It's like this is how you do it. And I think that's why you're getting pissed because you're like you're trying and looking at and asking questions about something else in your life, and spirit's like love, a relationship, and you're like that is not the fucking answer to everything. I feel like they're saying that, but, like, what the fuck are they wanting you to do? It's like shit really does transpire and happen very quickly for you. A whole new life opens up for you. What the fuck are you supposed to do? Like, I'm like, are they supposed to go hunting this motherfucker down? Like, what are they supposed to do, Spirit? 'Cause are we serious right now? I see why you're pissed. I see why you're pissed. You're like you seem very over it. Like, I feel like saying all this information, what am I supposed to do with it? Even when you don't dispute what spirit's saying, you're like, okay, and nothing happens. So, so why don't you deserve to have a life right now? If there's gonna be this prolonged hanged man wait for this proverbial ooh 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 something, why can't I have life now? What about right now? Why must life wait for after? Like, are we serious now? I think that's where you're argumentative with spirit. You're like, you motherfuckers need to quit. Okay. I think that they have a point, spirit. Do you want to address it? All I want to do is be argumentative about what the cards that are coming out. Okay. We've got the 9 of Wands with the Queen of Cups. Like somebody is uber protective, shielded, guarded, um, like proactively trying to something. It does give this hesitancy and this wall up to being the Queen of Cups. Or maybe you are protecting your Queen of Cups energy, but I don't think that you would agree. I really don't think that somebody's like absolutely not to doing the 8 of Cups to find their 9 of Cups, right? Like if you're saying walking the path of the 2 of Cups is what gets me there, then okay. So to me, that's not necessarily somebody being overly protective or guarded. They're not fighting that. Why are you saying that they're guarded or protective or okay, so there's some kind of self-imposed limitation. Okay, you're gonna have to get real detailed now. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, it feels as though you're saying this spirit, and it in the body of the person I'm reading for, it doesn't land, it doesn't resonate. Like they cannot see what you're talking about. They don't feel that. If they can't acknowledge it or see it, like how? I know that you're asking and focusing on multitudes of areas, right? As is being a human, right? We have to address everything. We can't just ignore life and sit in some kind of limerence, you know what I'm saying? For oh, something's gonna come. Like you have to live your life. You have to live it. So naturally you will live the mundane and seek guidance from spirit or your spiritual team or from within about even just the mundane. Like, okay, well, love's great. But right now I'm dealing with this. So what I got, it's almost as if it's like I feel like there's no real way for you to make love or a potential relationship a priority. There very well may be very mundane things in your life that you absolutely have to take care of that seems to are part of like a necessity to whatever spirit's asking of you. But it's the 8 of Swords. They're indicating there's some resistance. And we do know that there's some kind of like pattern, repeating pattern of being very argumentative and combative with spirit, obstinate, if you will. Like you always end up coming back to that. And there's something you've convinced yourself of. There's something that you believe or are buying into that causes you to have your guard up. But can I say I whatever is causing you to get guarded or feel like you can't move because it's almost like, there's all these swords around and it's like I can't move. It's the idea of like when a rattlesnake is nearby and they're crossing your path and you're like just don't move. All the vibration kind of brings attention. Something here makes it feel as though there's something there in your path just where you can't move. I actually I know the Queen of Cups is in the center of this, but I don't feel like this path is necessarily the thing that has you on guard and convinced that you can't move. Okay? So why don't we get clarity on that? What is it that's caused you're not happy with something? No. Got the 3 of Swords, the Emperor, and the Death card. So what they're telling me is that you are like, I'm open. I'm completely open. Queen of Cups. I'm completely open to the idea, the notion of this is the time in life where I find love and I find the right person for you. I'm open to that. I'm open to that. I still have a life to live and I still got to address those things, but I am completely open to it. Yet, either one, you believe because of some kind of weight or there's something occurring in life that something in your mind is casting a shadow of doubt. Like this right here feels like the emperor that I believe I deserve or I believe is out there for me, somehow that's ended. Like that's no longer available to me. 3 of Swords death card. This could be there's a particular person and you believe because You're like, I'm open to love, but I already know circumstances surrounding this person, it ain't happening. Or you don't know who this person is, but there's a part of you that in the waiting process, hanged man, um, that that opportunity has died. That somehow okay, I'm sorry, give me I mean, you know how like on some of the other platforms they'll put like a treat in front of a child or a dog and they're like, don't touch this until I get back, and they'll leave the room and then they come back and it's like a test. That's what they're giving me here. It's like dangling the idea of something. So you're saying I'm open to this, but also there's something about the extended period of time that has convinced you this is not actually going to happen. So you have a part of you that doesn't believe it. You're like, "Hey, I'm open to it," but there is an aspect of you in your mind that doesn't believe it, and that's like a protective measure. Because after all this time, how ignorant of me to believe this is possible when I've already you could be like later in life, and like how stupid of me at this age to believe that it's still possible. Or, when I have so much evidence and experience in life that says the probability is pretty slim. Um, or there's a particular person that you have interest in, and it's like at no point has it ever gone anywhere or moved forward, and how stupid of me to. And so it's like the concept or idea of a relationship you're open to. But when you allow yourself to pause and think about it on a more personal level, you get you put up a wall because it feels as there's something about this weight that feels painful. And like it's almost like you're like, okay, well you might have had someone for me, but apparently that shit didn't work out. So, it's almost like you think that spirit is looking for a new person because um something didn't work out. Let's find out about that. New era elements. Tell us about the emperor, please. And can I say, if I were to try to read this separately, also, what if, what if the ideal partner is doing something or enduring something? I mean, is it possible that whatever this path is leads to somebody who is currently like going through something? But what would be the point, spirit? Because if that's the case and they're waiting, there's any kind of liminal space here. Um, I'm on their side. They have shit they've got to take care of in their life. It's natural for them to want to go ahead and address certain areas of life because this is giving the energy like, just wait. We're going to have you leave this situation or circumstance to move to some kind of new life. And it'll happen quick. And it's like, but it's not happening quickly. Like, but in the interim, right? Like maybe once it does, then it begs the question, is there something that they're supposed to be doing to move them closer to this? Because but it's odd because spirit's like something is obviously behind closed doors. Eh, You feel like you're curious, but also you're not. Like maybe you've wanted some additional information. You don't know much about this, and maybe that would you know, help me to understand the delay to getting this. And it seemed maybe what they're telling you is so very limited that you're like, okay, I'm just gonna go do my own thing over here because I'm tired of this. And that might be why you are in this position of I don't want to broach the subject of relationships. Either it happens or it doesn't. Like you're just not willing to have that conversation anymore. It's like a moot point. Talk to me about this. What? Jeez. That's a book, and we are not going to do that many. Hierophant. Okay. Like, am I locked into this spirit? It feels like you feel like you're locked in. Again, like you're limited. Like maybe you're like, I wanna focus on different areas of my life. There's a lot, there's so much more to me. I wanna live now and not just after I meet somebody. Um, I don't know. I keep there. It is very argumentative. You and spirit going back and forth, because spirit's like, you need like love is in, and you're like, okay, I get it, but where is this shit? And also, this isn't the only thing to life. I need to focus on X, Y, and Z. And it's like they keep wanting to bring you back to the idea of love. And for me, I'm like, okay, what are they missing? Because generally speaking, if I'm trying to get information from spirit and they keep diverting me to a different topic, it's because I haven't understood or garnered or grasped something about that. And so they're not yet willing to move on. But the idea and notion of a commitment is feeling very oppressive to you. And whether they realize it or not, this it's turning you away from the idea of finding love in this era of your life. Like it is so I just think that you're over it. You want there's a big desire. I want to focus on other areas. I want to focus on something else. If this happens, great. If it doesn't, who gives a shit? Um, which generally, you know, in a lot of circumstances, that would be exactly what needs to happen. So why are they constantly diverting your attention back to a relationship or the idea of a path where connection with somebody brings in a lot of things that you want? Why is that the focus? Why are they constant? It's like grabbing somebody's, the grabbing somebody's face and directing it. Like, no, look here. And it's like, well, why? Why? Seven of Wands. It's like, am I not important outside of this? What about me? Seven of Wands. What about me? Why do you keep doing that? That does nothing for me right now. Tell me about the Eight of Cups. I've got the whole thing upside down. My bad. Lovers. Well, we got that one. Okay, thank you, Captain Obvious. Appreciate that. Tell me about the Eight of Cups. Is there something they're supposed to be doing? Sorry, guys. Hold on. Okay, look. all my mind can think of when I've got the lovers with the universe card, which is the world card, is either love is at a distance or it's making me feel like the world wide web or like the internet, social media, like either love is found through travel or love is found online. Okay, what can I do? Okay. Travel would make sense with the path, like you've got to go somewhere, but what's that again? What's that got to do with like here and now? 4 of Cups. Mm, I'm trying to figure out like, ooh, that's stuck in my hand. Dang. Ace of Pentacles. Like it's out there. Go find it. But somebody's very apathetic right now. 4 of Cups is you're so sick of how things have been going that you don't even like you don't even try. Well, we got that because you were like, it either comes to me or how are they supposed to try, Spirit? Come on. Acting like it's super easy out in this world right now to connect. Page of Cups can really talk about like socializing, getting out, going to events, doing things, making friends, invites. I don't feel like that's happening though. Are you telling them that they need to be initiating something? Like you've got to do this? Because that would make perfect fucking sense with the I ain't fucking doing shit. There's a reason somebody's not doing something. There's a block here. This idea of something that's pretty big. Why do I feel like I've got either like I've got more self-respect than that, or I've got to think about me. There's a block here because this, while there's this sense of succumbing to something, with the 8 of Swords is like, self-imposed limitations. Mm. What is the block? What is the person I'm reading for? What are they perceiving as the block? Are you shitting me? Someone may be experiencing isolation right now. The Hermit. Somebody may be introverted. Somebody may be like, I'm not going out. I'm not getting out and going out in the world. There is a degree of something should make its way to you that you believe. There is an obstacle to putting yourself out there, it seems, or either traveling, doing something online. There's pride here. Yeah. Self-respect, pride. I don't know. I like if you're expected to do something like am I chasing? Am I trying so hard? Am I especially if it's somebody you're familiar with, it's like I'm not doing all that. Pride. This is the 8 of cups again. I'm trying to but pride doesn't feel I mean, there's a bit of pride in this, obviously, but it doesn't feel the core reason why somebody feels like there's an obstacle. We have tangibility here. We have the Ace of Pentacles. Tangible, there's got to be a reason someone is not doing this. And it's like, I think this is the disconnect, Spirit. I'm going to be honest with you. Is this Spirit, like, whoever this is for, is like, Spirit's like, you can just do it. And the other person's like, no, the fuck I can't. What are you talking about? There's legitimate obstacles. This person could have even tried and attempted before and nothing happened. And that's how they discovered those fucking obstacles and limitations. That's why they actually believe that they're there. Um and maybe they've made attempts and it didn't work. So it's like at this point I'm not going to. I'm not focusing my energy there. I've got other things to focus on. More respect for myself than to pull that shit. And I did bring up this sense of limerence, which had nothing to do with the fucking, but you're like, they're like, focus on love. And it's like, it ain't right in front of you. What are you focusing on? What do you mean, Spirit? What do you mean? Mm. You may be trying to do something on your own, pride, doing it alone. And they're like, you need to leave that. You need to leave this mentality. Uh, uh, um, gosh. Like, what this reminds me of? When everybody else is super concerned for your sex life or your dating life more than you, and it's like, why are you so worried about this? Why is it any of your business? Like really, people will sometimes make it like their life purpose to constantly be like, you know what I mean? And it's like, why do you care so fucking much? Why is this so important to you? Right? And so it's kind of like that's the same attitude being taken with Spirit. Like, damn. And I do think whoever I'm reading for is like, if this were really something so important, it would be made a hell of a lot easier. I believe who I'm reading for is like, I've done my due diligence. I've attempted. I am open. I'm not going any further because at this point, I'm the one that's like, I got more self respect than that. I love myself. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna, this is seriously. Should never be up on the pedestal that you're making me feel like it needs to be, Spirit. There's such a disconnect here. And Spirit, I gotta be honest with you, you're not giving me anything good to kind of like explain this to somebody. If it does feel, I will say, like it's just like what like you want to act you want to become an actress and like, oh, you should move to Hollywood. Great. Thank you, Captain Obvious. Tell me how I'm supposed to fucking do that. I have an obligation here. I don't have the money. I don't have a place. I don't have a job. None of that's lined up. I'm actually in debt. My credit score is terrible. How am I supposed to get approved? Like there's all these other things and people can be so flippant. Like just do this. And it's like how? There's legitimate obstacles. There is a there okay, the first thing this uh Uber independence, which shit, I can't help you with because I'm the same way. But this prideful independence, this um I'd rather do it myself kind of a thing or on my own or whatever it is, there is that needs to be left behind. That can't be taken into whatever fuck bullshit this is. Um but I don't think that that's the I mean, you may have that attitude now. You may feel like I've waited long enough, might as well just do it by myself. Like I don't even care if a person shows up, but if they show up, then okay. And it's like there's something to that. I don't personally find anything wrong with that, honestly. But it I guess it might be a contributing factor to something. Like it can't be all that great to have me out here waiting like this. Or maybe spirit's like, you know, here's the era of love and these are the things that you should do and you're like, fuck that shit. I ain't doing that. Take me as I am or not at all. Like I don't know. You are you have had enough of spirit's bullshit. And spirit's had enough of yours. And we got motherfucking Emperor over here like, wah, wah. I didn't even know why he's out here. I'm like, do I even continue spirit? Because I mean, really, why do a reading if everything you say the other person doesn't get? Like it's not getting to the core of it. You're not answering the question, spirit. What the fuck are they supposed to do? I mean, look, if it boils down to somebody being way too independent, I know plenty of situations where when the right person shows up, an individual softens because for once they feel as though they can trust to do something in tandem with somebody instead of completely on their own. Why can't that be what happens? Take a drink of water. Why can't that be the thing that happens? Hence why, look, I am not helping because I do not have any answers for whoever this is because I'm with you. I'm with you at this point. I think somebody is done making efforts or anything else like that. And so they're like, you know what? My time would be much better spent on just taking care of my present situation and circumstance and just wait for the opportunity where all this can transpire. Hmm. And then it brings us back to, but aren't you the least bit curious? Don't you want to know what it's like to? I'm like, not if this is how you fucking do it. Like you know. I believe that whoever I'm reading for is over the whole spirit will surprise you. Spirit says this doesn't need to be blah 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 blah. You don't need to know everything. And then like, you know what? Too grown for that shit. It's like either talk to me like a fucking adult or shut the fuck up. Feels like there's a whole lot of lip service and nothing actually happening. Five of Swords. I'm definitely feeling defeated. 10 of Wands. Okay. Very burdened. Very burdened by this whole situation of it's like making love not feel worth it. It's just like over and over and over again, same shit, different day, going in circles with spirit, disputing and arguing, and God almighty, just stop. Just stop. It yeah, there is conflict for somebody over this idea of like this relationship or union, 4 of Wands kind of thing. It's I dare I say, spirit, it's any mention of it is only making it worse, not better. It definitely feels like a different approach is needed. This person doesn't understand what you want from them. You leave them in a situation where they have to be independent. They have to be, you know, and then you're like, don't be so independent. Don't be so prideful that you won't let somebody in. Are you shitting me? You leave somebody in this position for long enough. It reminds me of like if I'm gonna be in a relationship and feel like I'm single, then I'm just gonna be single. Like why even, you know what I mean? That's what it reminds me of. It's like well, you're placing me in a position where I have to be what is really going on behind the scenes? I want to know about this emperor. What the fuck's up with this emperor? This proverbial emperor. Well, that came out to be 2 of Wands. Ten of Cups. Two of Swords. We have choosing to take action, restores peace, emotional stability, and okay, so we're at a place, spirit, where for whatever reason, Queen of Cups seems to be the one that has to take action. What action do you want the Queen of Cups to take? Like Temperance. What action do you want the Queen of Cups to take? Daggone, I can't even. This shit's that look. fucking look. Temperance is, it does feel like really, truly, genuinely opening up to love and not just saying, yeah, sure, bring it my way. We'll see how it goes. Two, it is about guidance. It's being open to guidance and what spirit is guiding you to do. In regards to, it's almost like, let me walk you down this path. Because the Six of Swords is, again, there's a hint of travel. But there is this, let me take you closer with the Six of Swords, Let me move you closer to this. And things can change. I'm fighting for my life right now, you guys. For the love of God, I cannot. I can't find myself getting on the side of spirit. And I know you got all these readers out here and all these spiritualists who treat spirit as if it is the Christian God, where it is, they are the most almighty, all knowing, all everything. And how dare you think that you know better? Well, it would be shit like this, in all honesty. Shit like this where I'm like, well, there's just some readings that make you as a reader feel really fucking stupid. Because we are going in circles. And I am not one to believe that this person is the cause of going in circles. If they can't understand the guidance that they're getting, then you can't be like, why don't you just listen to the guidance? Well, bitch, because they don't fucking know what you're saying. You're not making sense. This is not making any sense. What the fuck are they supposed to do? Don't be so independent. Well, then get me out of the fucking position where I don't have to be independent anymore. Kind of feels very self-explanatory. So I don't understand this, spirit. I cannot be on your side with this shit. This just seems stupid, honestly. Okay? So, I may not be the reader for this message because what the fuck? What do you want me to say to them? Follow my guidance. They are. They have. And for whatever reason, it feels as though they've been left on red and nothing has happened. They're losing patience, faith, curiosity, desire for this. There's nothing that's really been, there's nothing that's transpired. And sometimes it's best to leave something alone and let it cook, right? So if they're trying to look at something else in life or put their attention to it, why are you redirecting them back to this? Again, I understand the concept. There's something that somebody's not getting, but can we also is there any accountability for spirit not doing a good job of being clear with somebody? Have you told them to do something and they're refusing? So there is an action here. Well, I mean, um, be vulnerable. They want you to be vulnerable. The action they want you to take is to be vulnerable, which is why they're saying ego, quit trying to be so, I guess, hermit, like I'll figure it all out myself, blah blah blah. Move away from that. Be vulnerable. Mm. You feel like you are? Open up. I guess you are a bit apathetic here at this point. I feel, not spirit, that it's deserved because what the actual fuck. But with the 4 of Cups, it's like, are you open to the cup that's coming in? You need to be open to it. So, what it feels like to me is this song and dance has happened, and I don't know if you get super close to this transpiring and suddenly you shut down, you get defensive, and you're no longer vulnerable. Like, just before something happens, it's like every time just before something happens, and they're making it sound like this is, cyclical, happens frequently, you get, um, defensive, like, and you shut down to the thing. You shut yourself off to it, or you shut down to it. Like, maybe you find a reason to shut down and be off to it. Um, maybe it's, "Oh, I guess it's just not gonna happen." You know what I mean? Because it feels like it takes too long for you. You're tired of being guided to do shit. You're tired of the subject. But I think spirit is like, but every time we broach this and you get close to walking this path and listening to spirit, you then shut it down. And while I could say after having to wait for so long, that makes sense why you would. But it's like they're saying, but you've always done that. Even when time couldn't be used as the excuse. There's always something. You shut it down because, like, it's like you pump the brakes because, no, 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 but this thing. Well, if you want to bring it in, then you have to do this. Well, if you want to do it, then you have to do this. Well, why right? Like, I don't know. Like, why right now? Because X, Y, and Z hasn't happened. So, do you have a lot of excuses when it's about to happen? You are perfect the way that you are. Queen of Pentacles. You have everything. 7 of Swords. Okay, I get it. Oof, God, shit. Okay. This 7 of Swords, look at all these eyes. Um, there may be something that you want to change about the circumstances or about your life or about you. Um, like you're open to something coming in, but you don't want them to see this or you don't want to be in the middle of experiencing this, or you don't want to look like this, or you don't want to be battling this, or you don't want to da da da. Like there's little things that you want to change. You feel like every time this supposedly about happens, it's like you're being set up to look like shit by spirit. There's I wanna say, "Oh, great. So now they get to see this? Oh, great." I like, there's always a reason for you not to feel good when they come in. Uh, I'm gonna give you a scenario. You've just lost 20 pounds, and none of your clothes fit, but you don't have the money yet to go get any kind of clothes. Um, and, you know, so you got 2 things going on there. There's literally nothing that you can wear, and money's super duper tight. Great. So this person's gonna come in, and not only does spirit want you to look stupid, um, and grungy, and like you're going through a school pickup line, but also great because, you know, uh, it's a telltale sign of how rough you're having it financially. There's an energy of that. I don't know if that's exactly what it is, but it's like every time it about happens, you feel like you're being set up to look stupid. Spirit calls it being vulnerable. And you feel like you're just being intentionally humiliated by spirit. Ugh. And your response is, well, if it was supposed to happen, it would have happened anyways. The spirit is like, but you keep pumping the brakes and then shutting down, putting your walls up because you know it's about to happen. You can feel it and you get mad because of the circumstances surrounding when it's going to happen. But you feel like it's a humiliation ritual. You know, I don't get the sense of there's any conceitedness or when you have family who intentionally wants to embarrass you in front of everybody, um, it's like their sense of entertainment and you could be in a room full of people and heaven forbid you actually be feeling good about yourself or enjoying yourself or anything else like that, and then they've always got to say or do something where all eyes are on you, um, and your deficits are highlighted. And it's like, couldn't you give me a place or a platform or a time or a moment where this comes in where everything good about me is elevated rather than having to highlight all my deficits? Like, why? It's because I think it's become you think it's a prerequisite. Like spirit's like the only way this can come in is if you look stupid when it does. You look stupid, you feel stupid, like it's some kind of badge of honor to get through it. You know what I mean? Like it's a level that you've got to break through or some shit. Still not on your side, spirit. And spirit wants to give you this, but you're perfect the way you are. They're gonna love you exactly the way you are. And you're like, at some point, why I'm against spirit, I'm on somebody else's side. Why is it who gives a fuck if the other person likes this, or this? They are not the most important. See, I get this now. What about you? What about you? Who gives a shit? Like, like if I don't feel like I look good, I don't give a fuck if somebody else is like, "Oh, you're so good looking." Your opinion doesn't matter. I have self-esteem and self-respect. Therefore, I don't elevate somebody else's opinion. I don't get my sense of self-worth of, as long as they're happy with me, then I'm okay. Fuck that shit. I want to be happy with something because I'm the most important person in this scenario. It is my life, my trajectory. I get to determine how I experience it. And if I say I want this, I don't give a shit if the other person is like, but you know what I mean? Like that's living to their standards. That's handing your power over to them. Like as long as they're happy, then you should be happy. Bullshit. What about you? Mm, no wonder you have apathy. You're like, you know what? It feels like you're like, well, that's why you've gotten to a place. Well, if it comes in, it comes in. Maybe you feel like you're tired of caring, but in its own right, that still has you shutting down. And it's like letting, like the spirit wants you to trust them that they know what to do, how to do. When somebody forces you to do something that you yourself, again, hermit mode, you don't want to share that part. Spirit's calling it pride. Like this should be my business and my business only. But you're kind of like it feels like a friend who outs you. But you're supposed to believe it's like for your best interest or something. You know what I mean? It's like it's to you it feels like spirit's asking you to believe that they know what's best for you better than you do when you're the one that's living and experiencing this. Like if spirit says, "Hey, this is going to happen," your brain automatically, "Okay, but not like this. Okay, but not like this." You're open to it, but not like this. Yeah, feels like it's a humiliation ritual. Okay, yeah, 9 of Swords. You would just rather not have it then. There's a deep-seated part of you that feels like it's not being heard, listened to, or honored, that you have to kind of like their way or the highway type of situation, but it feels demoralizing to you, and I don't understand why spirit would do that. They want you to show those things that you don't wanna show. But, I don't it's okay to expect somebody to earn that, not to strip somebody down and force it before they're ready. Like, you know what I mean? Like, shouldn't they have to earn seeing those parts of you? Knowing those secrets that you have? What do you mean, spirit, when you say that's why this feels like shit. That's why this idea of union feels like shit. Because at this point, you're no longer important. You don't feel important in the equation. You're not a puppet that behaves like, does this song and dance. That's why the idea of an emperor feels so far out of reach that it's not even worth, you know? Okay, let me see. Let's see. I'm like, oh God, that hurt. Somebody's like, what do you want from me? So this is it's just somebody who feels like they probably haven't had a lot of opportunity in life to make decisions completely for themselves. It's always been under the influence of somebody else. And this whole dynamic with spirit is pulling up some shit about sovereignty and do I really get a say in my path? And how come when I want to change focus, I'm not honored? And spirit is saying because doing so is you hiding. I think you're not opposed to working through whatever this is that's coming up, but being forced to do it in a particular manner is what you're against. And that's what makes you feel like, am I not important in all of this? And isn't that the lesson in what true love really is? That you're seen, valued, and honored for where you're at? Even when spirit gives some kind of compelling information, whoever I'm reading for, I I'm still on your side. And I know there's no sides to choose, but I'm finding it very difficult to convince you of something otherwise. And so if you're listening to this, this is sometimes when you're feeling and experiencing and going through it, it's one thing. When it's removed from your life and it's something that you can look at objectively and hear objectively, like it's somebody else's story, helps you to process what's happening. Is it really just their lack of being vulnerable that is stopping this, or is there something more? Sorry, guys. I don't do reversals, and so when I notice that there's several cards in my deck that's just jacked up, I try to fix it. Where did the Okay, so what do you want them to be vulnerable? Do you really get to decide, spirit, what that is and how that shows up? Nine of Cups. It's like you want to do it in your own time, and spirit's like, Okay, let me. God damn. We talk about the Knight of Pentacles as not so much being about timing as it is about integrity, and that something can move either very swiftly or very slowly, um, depending on whether or not both people show up in integrity. And integrity is when your words, actions, and energy all match. And when both people show up completely 100% authentically themselves, transparent, um, standing in their power, standing in their truth, in their vulnerability, you know immediately whether or not you two are congruent with one another. Most people find themselves being in a situation, right? And 3, 4, 6 months down the road, seeing different aspects inside of a person because rather than showing up in their authenticity and in integrity with one another and with themselves, they show up fragmented in masks. Here's what I'm going to say. Let's say you do what Spirit says and that you're willing, no matter what things look like, to allow something to transpire. If at any point someone sees something that causes them to inquire or investigate or want to go further and deeper than you're willing to in that moment, there is nothing stopping you from saying, I'm not comfortable with that, because that's you still being in integrity. That's you still being authentic. If it is an aspect or an area that you feel someone must work up to being included in, that is your prerogative. That does not mean you're not being vulnerable. Hiding it, not showing it, refusing to address it, not willing to say, no, no, sir, no, ma'am. That's not what I like. We're not going to go there right now. I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not comfortable with it. There's things, there are aspects to our journey that we all agree not everybody should be privy to. Not everybody deserves to have access to that. And if you have um a desire to build in other areas prior to allowing somebody to have access to knowledge or um areas of your life, right? It's like the notion of like, yes, I have children, but no, you're not going to meet them right now, and no, you don't get access to them, and no, you don't get to know anything about them just yet. Like you earn that. Um, it's kind of in the same vein, but hiding the fact that you have children, hiding an aspect of your life, or behaving as if you were ashamed of a part of something and hiding it, that's different. And that's what Spirit's talking about. There is no indication that Spirit's saying you have to include, divulge, share. Um, but when you pump the brakes, it's you attempting to hide something. And that's the habit that they want you to get out of. Because in that hiding is a bit of I'm gonna cry. Shit. It is the feeling of shame. And spirit's like, you have nothing to be ashamed of. Um, mm, let's say life has been unkind and you're in a place of trying to rebuild yourself, but you're not quite there yet, and you still wear on your body the evidence of what you've been through. Um, and while you are improving and your health is improving, you're not quite there yet. You shouldn't have to hide. This idea of like, well, not just yet, not just yet. Like, because it's like you don't want them to see the evidence of what resulted of what you went through, because then I think there's this debate between you and spirit of what is ego and what is not. Some things are very sacred. You think if people see your scars, then you have to share your story. Um, ooh, but if you have to hide your scars, then they're not worthy of being with. But you feel that when spirit forces you to show those scars at maybe what you deem the ugliest is a humiliation ritual. And it's like life all around will improve and you feel like you come back online, maybe because you stop hiding those scars that are visible. Um, because if we get back to this, the Eight of Cups, Ace of Wands, it's like a new life. It's like coming back online. It's life again, can happen very rapidly. I feel like saying in trying to hide the scars, you're elongating the process. That in trying to hide them, because you don't think people should be privy to them, and by all means, I get that. In hiding them, though, think of the mind body spirit connection. You're actually holding on to them, they remain visible. So, however, what you've been through in life shows up visibly in your life, whether it's poverty, whether it's literally wearing it on your skin, um, the evidence of the choices that you've made, it's almost as if they remain so visible because of your attempt to hide them. Just as we sometimes say that when we try to control a situation, um, that we get so bound and tied up, you know, people will say, like, when you're holding on to weight, it's because you're trying to hold on control. Um, and that if you would just relinquish control, you could relinquish the weight. But the weight makes you wanna control, like, it's like what came first, the chicken or the egg, and it's kind of like in trying to hide this, or it's like you've moved beyond it, but you feel as though when people see the evidence of what you've been through, it pulls you right back to it, and you're trying to move beyond it. And they're trying to tell you the real way to move beyond it is to let it be seen. But you feel like that's them trying to humiliate you. Then not everybody deserves to see the scars. But you're doing something to keep those scars alive when the intent behind your actions is to hide them. So it's one of those things where if you became vulnerable, does not mean that you owe anything to anyone, explanation or otherwise, that you have to do anything that feels uncomfortable. Um, I'm trying to think of an example. Like, I have a really bad example. Like, let's say you're seen online and you connect with somebody and you talk. Um, they ask for a picture, and that picture, you know, there's a genuine connection there, but like, there's parts like you've lost 20 pounds, but you're still losing, and you don't want them to see. You're like, well, you don't have to meet in person. you know, if that feels too uncomfortable, you can continue to get to know them so that you know that you can trust them and their intentions. But when you begin to hide things, they will begin to question things. When you begin to hide things, you begin to act differently because then your mind is, when's the next time that they're going to ask? When are they going to want to see me? When are they going to, like, there's something to it. Like, you build up the scar and almost drudge back up the wound when you tried to hide it. Now, it doesn't mean that your body is the thing that we're talking about here, but your avoidance of this um, is what keeps it around. Your fear that somebody will see it. Um, because I get the honest, like, if somebody were to say something awry about it, you probably have the best quips and comebacks. You really actually you don't give a shit when somebody doesn't like what they see. It's a big fat fuck you. I'll show you exactly da da da. It's when it's when they're okay with what they see and they want to witness it and they really want to see it, that feels really uncomfortable to you. Because you can't tell me you walk through life nobody noticing the scars that you have. It's real easy to deal with it when they don't like it or they want to use it as a punch down or a quick whip or anything else like that, because fuck them, you don't give a shit about them anyways. But when somebody wants to see it, that's when it bothers you. When they are not okay with it, but like they see the beauty in it, that's the time you're not okay with it. That's the time. You don't want them to be okay with something that you're not okay with. That's the truth. That's the truth right there. You don't want them to be okay with something that you're not okay with. And you don't want to fucking hear it. All right. Well, at least we're getting to the fucking reason. Because when somebody wants to be a bitch about it, you don't give a fuck anyways. You don't want people to be attracted to, appealed to. You don't like what you went through. You don't like what it did to you. You don't like the evidence and the trail that it's left behind. You don't want to have to look at the evidence or the trail yourself. So when somebody else is okay with it, it does something to you because you're not okay with it. Maybe you don't want to be patronized and it'd be like, oh, but it's all right. It's da 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 da. No, the fuck it's not. Because then you're going to go off on a rant, sharing all the little details of why it's not okay of what you went through. And then you've done more than you wanted to. It opens up a can of worms. But it's an inevitability to get what it is that you want, that you've been desiring, that you've been wishing for. It is an inevitability. And you can wait until everything looks hunky dory, perfect, blah, 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 blah. It's going to come out at some point in some form or fashion. And right now, you're scared of the very, very, very visible evidence of what you've been through. But if this person shows up at a time when things look great and doing well, and then out of nowhere, this emerges and creates havoc, you're still going to have to revisit and show them those scars, or else you're going to ruin whatever perfect union you think you've made. And there's something about when something looks really great and then this happens, everything looks so ugly. But when the first thing someone sees is the scar right out the gate, right out the get-go, and they get to witness the lotus bloom, so to speak, they get to witness it, the scar fading, it does something completely different for this dynamic. One solidifies strengthens, secures the connection. The other one can ruin it and break it down. And that's why they're looking at it like it's the ego. It's not that they think you're trying to save face. You're trying to protect yourself. And that's the ego's job. That is the ego's job. But that's spirit is challenging whether that's actually protecting you. That's creating a scenario for another scar to be created, another wound to heal from. You are very not happy with what has transpired in life. And despite working through that and healing it, what really bothers you now is the aftermath that it's left in your life, whether the evidence and the scar is in the mundane and the material and the or if you wear it on your skin, it's kind of like a tornado, like in the wake of a tornado, the destruction is evident. Shit, even a year after a tornado, communities are still building. You can still see the result. So when you're upset that you keep feeling like it's not happening, it's not happening, it's not happening, and you're not even remotely curious anymore, and they're like, and you think it gets dangled like a carrot, you play a factor in that. You want everything to look great. And how that looks and shows up for everybody's going to be different. But the common theme is you're not happy with it. And somehow somebody else being okay with it makes you feel like it minimizes what you went through, what it did to you, and what you've had to endure as a result. And dare I say, you might try to create a story and insert or project things on to this person because why are you okay with it? Does that make you feel superior? Does that make you feel like you're coming in and saving the day? You're doing something by having pity on me or being, like what stories, what bullshit. When they see you like the Queen of Pentacles, but you feel like the Nine of Swords. What bullshit? Seven of Swords. Lies, deception. Where do you why are you okay with that? Why are you okay with that? There's a snake in the glass house. It feels fake. It feels not real. Four cups again. Totally not okay with the status quo, but also unable to grasp that proverbial cup that comes from the sky. You are the reason you're stuck in the in between. You are. Your life, your life is waiting for you. So it feels like really what's happening Spirit's not necessarily trying to tie all the things that you want to accomplish or do in your life to this particular relationship, but they know you and they know that if they let you beautify your life and cover up the scars, you'll never really ever heal this or truly become vulnerable. This notion and idea that you'll let somebody in or that you'll yeah. I can feel shame still harboring in you for whatever you've endured, whether it was your fault or not. You are still ashamed. And they're not trying to tie I know you're like, well, life still goes on and I've got to do this, this, and this. You may feel like nothing is moving in your life. And everything that you try to address or look at or turn to, you can't do you like spirit t- forces your face to look back over here. It's like you could ask your spiritual team, your higher self, whatever the fuck you want to call it. You're trying to focus on something else, and they will consistently divert your attention back over here because if they don't, it's like you will run for the rest of your life. This shame will remain in you. And I know you feel like forcing me to be seen when I'm not ready to be seen is unloving. But this is one of those times where if they go, okay, we'll let you do it in your own time, that time will never fucking come. And whether it's in a relationship or another aspect of your life, it'll come back to light. You don't have to like your scars. You don't have to feel like you owe anybody anything, but you cannot hide anymore. And so if you feel like it's torture and unloving, whatever word you want to call it, with what they're doing, they do not see it that way. I get it. It's not about you being curious. It's about letting other people be curious about you. You don't want them to see it. You don't you don't have to tell anybody anything. You don't have to be an open book. You don't have to share everything. You don't have to re-divulge into any of those things. You just can't fucking hide. And I'm going to tell you right now, as a parent, this is probably the most loving thing spirit can do for you. Because when you hide at the very moment you can be seen, and you've probably had a million fucking reads, let yourself be seen, and You tie stories to it. You're like, oh, like, oh, the universe card, let me be seen. That's like over here, like, come on, motherfucker. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? I got all kinds of things over here. We had there it is, the universe. The thing about social media is you can curate what people see. But they want people to see. They want you to be seen. When they said let yourself be seen, you probably had a million things of like, oh, I need to post more, or oh, I needed to do it. No. You probably had a million fucking messages of let yourself be seen. Oh, it must be this, or oh, I gotta get out and network, or oh, I gotta that's why I went that route in the beginning. That's why I went that route. And they're like, no, no, that's not what we're talking about. For those who have experienced something like, say, really early on in life, right? Um, and it's a very, very personal thing. You don't have to share those stories. But if you think damn good and well your scars still show. Whatever you do to try and hide those creates masks for you. Those masks will fall. But when you've built something on pretenses that are not real, that's the tower moment. Something built on a faulty foundation. If you want someone to show up in pure authenticity and in pure integrity, you have to do the same. You can't pretend like it's not there, okay? And so if you are making those attempts to, okay, yeah, sure, yeah, go ahead, spirit, and then you just want to focus on something else, like with my child, I know exactly what the fuck you're doing. And my child would choose something very legitimate. I got to do that. I know. How convenient that, yes, you also need to look at this, or, oh, yes, you need to be focusing here, or, oh, blah, 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 blah. It's always going to be something, though. So, what do I do as a parent? Well, guess what? You don't get to do X, Y, and Z, even though you need to do them until you do this. Because you ain't going to keep avoiding this. And it can sometimes feel like the most cruelest thing. It can seem so fucked up. And like a teenager, this is my life and I can na. But sometimes this is exactly what has to be done because you are so very loved. And they want you to have all the things that you've been wanting and desiring. All the things that you've been wishing for. that again, if you were to receive this, before you allow this, like if you don't stop hiding, all of it will be easily taken away from you at some point because it will be built on the wrong foundation. That is the entirety of the tower moment. Something built on a faulty foundation is always going to be easy to pull down. So, and it just feels like um well, like we said in the beginning, you keep putting up stop signs and but not like this and no and and it's kind of like the reason why they don't heap it on you when you're doing that is because you will shut down and it defeats the purpose. You have to willingly, no matter what your circumstances look like, what your fucking scars look like, quit fucking telling them no. Quit saying, but what about this? Or how about like this? Or putting parameters. When they're telling you not to control something, that's what they're talking about. That's how you do it. When they say, this is the route we're going, and the thing they tell you is about to happen is about to happen. Don't pull out some fucking bullshit and pump the brakes because, well, what about this? And well, no, what about's nothing. There's a high probability you're not going to like the goddamn circumstances in which something fucking occurs because it requires you not to hide. You want to hide something. And spirit's like, it can't happen. So every time you pump the brakes, spirit pumps the brakes. Well, no, not like that. No, ma'am. No, sir. You don't get to do that. Nope. That's you hiding. That's you hiding. It is not about them wanting to control it. It is not about them being your mommy, your daddy, trying to control every little thing. I've got free will. One of the things you're gonna fucking do in this life, and they're gonna make sure of it, is that you stop hiding your scars, that you release the shame that you have with it. And you're going to quit adding stories to why they're doing something and what that really means. None of that's true. They're not being cruel. They're not trying to humiliate you. You don't have to fucking tell your entire goddamn life story. But what you're going to fucking stop doing is hiding. So we can keep going round and round and round and do this and do this and do this and round and round and round. But you're going to find yourself in the same goddamn spot every fucking time because this one, spirit's not letting go of. So this can take as long or as short as you want. But yes, you're going to be uncomfortable. Yes, you might even want to fucking cry. But something you don't want seen is going to get seen by somebody very in particular. I got too many goddamn cards out here now, y'all. And once you let it be seen, like the swiftness at which things start changing, when you stop hiding. It's not to humiliate you. It's not to humiliate you. Because in any other scenario, you try to make a situation or circumstance in which something unfolds so perfect, you are hiding. And they can't let you hide anymore because that hiding is an indication of there's a harbinger of shame within you. So, if you want to know why shit's not happening in your life and why they keep directing you to the idea of love but yet love never comes in, you motherfucker, you are the reason. You. Be pissed if you want. Don't like the delivery. They're fucking used to it. Argue, debate, try to compromise, try to whatever. Let somebody discover you. Let somebody be curious about you. Let somebody want to love you for you. You still have control in this. And this is the thing. One of the very hardest lessons in this existence is to learn that surrender does not mean handing over control. Surrender, in the act of surrender, you have total and utmost control because you and you alone can do it. Nobody can force you. There's nothing spirit can do to make you relinquish control, open up to receive. That's really what surrendering is. It's the lack of resistance. You are no longer resisting something. You are open to it. You are willing to receive. You are receptive with whatever it may be. But you and you alone get to choose that. And nobody else can do it for you. So, no, you are not handing your power over. No, nobody else is controlling you. Because frankly, I've witnessed people in my fucking life who do that to their damn deathbed. Spirit can't make you. You can keep fighting it. And you will keep feeling like the things you want and desire are held at arm's length. Because they are within length. They are within reach. It's not, control is not being taken from you. You are choosing this actively. Okay. Lord of mercy. That fucking was, holy shit, 2 hours. I thought it was maybe like an hour and 20 minutes, y'all. Alrighty. Well, I don't know. I don't have anything really like I can say at the end of that to make it very like, to lighten that shit up at all. Because good God. But yeah. Just that I hope it finds whoever it's meant for. And I hope it was helpful. So, alrighty, I am going to hop off. I hope you all have a fantastic and wonderful day, and I will see you at the next read.